Hello everyone, what's good? My name is Trini Jackson, also known as the world's very first trend millionaire. This is another episode of Conversations Are My Thing. I want to thank y'all for tuning in and make sure you subscribe, follow the podcast and the YouTube page if you're watching this video. And let's go ahead and get into it, all right? So lately, I feel like I've been getting more into the flow of understanding the importance of scheduling, planning, how to go about it effectively, and how to make sure I'm executing on a daily basis. I never really consider myself like a crazy organized person, which it just wasn't a character trait that I thought I embodied. I tried to do a planner on numerous occasions. I had a Panda planner, which is basically a physical planner where it's built for productivity, and it's like you schedule every single hour of your day. And I would go for like a week or two really strong and be like, oh my God, I got it. And then I just fall off with it, and I never use the monthly version of it. There was just so many things that I thought were falling through the cracks, and I could not get a grip on how to create a sustainable schedule for myself to make sure that I'm executing and pushing myself closer to my goals while also still living a regular life and handling my personal things like my dog and just my happiness and peace overall. And now, don't get twisted, I don't have it down to a science, but I feel like I've made so many great leaps and bounds in the right direction. And I really wanted to kind of take today to explain some of the things that I've done recently that has helped me get my productivity under control and put me in a position to make sure that every day I feel successful, because success is progressive realization of a worthy ideal. But you don't need to, wait until you achieve a certain goal to feel successful. I feel like you can get the opportunity to feel successful every single day that you do the things that you know you need to be doing to just get you a little bit closer. So every morning, afternoon, night, where I know I'm executing and I'm doing what I need to do, I feel successful. And I think everybody should have that same feeling. So let's get into it. One thing I had to work on was creating a nighttime routine. I got to the point where my morning routine was I'm like, I wake up, I do this, I do this, I do this. I knew what my first 3 or 4 hours of the day was going to look like, just because my morning routine was so stacked. It was like second nature. And I remember one night I was going to bed and I was on TikTok scrolling, wasting my time away, not even realizing that I'm just flushing hours down the drain. And it just clicked to me one night while I was journaling. I said, Trinity, your nighttime routine is just as important as your morning routine. The things that you're doing right before you go to bed is just as important as the things you're doing right when you wake up. And I've been stressing the importance of making sure that I'm taking time for myself at different areas of the day and not overworking myself in certain areas, and finding breaks. Basically, I now have a therapist. I'm not trying to brag or nothing, but I love going to therapy, and I think everybody should have someone that they can really just unwind and feel comfortable talking to, and that is Veronica for me at the Murphy Wellness Retreat. If you do need if you need a shout out or you need somebody, that's the location I go to. But I was even talking to her about this, and there's two things that she's told me that has really helped me to get a healthy work life. I wouldn't even call it balance, but just a flow. Because I feel like it's hard to, if you search too much for balance, it's like, do you ever feel balance? I don't know. That's for you to answer. But a flow is what we're looking for. That's really what I've been focused on. I just want to make sure I can flow through my day and get the things done that I need to get done, and then feel good about it. So one thing she told me is that Trinity, she said, this is her speaking. She said, Trinity, the mind can only do focused work well for like an hour and a half at a time. So you pushing yourself to sit down in front of something that you don't feel like doing for 4 hours at a time is going to just drain you. Not only are you not going to get the best results because you don't feel like doing it, but it's going to you're going to feel worse because you're like, oh my gosh, why am I not working? Why is nothing happening? Why can't I figure this out? When in reality, sometimes you just need a break. So as I've been going through my days, I'm scheduling my priorities, okay? And I make sure I set aside time to just chill. I tan. Sometimes I just go downstairs and I chill with Coda. I have my lunch, I vibe, I have little break sessions where I'm able to go from one task or one priority to the other instead of sitting and working on one thing for 5 hours and wondering why I'm making no progress on it and why I'm frustrated and why I feel like I reached this wall and my brain won't allow me to think of any new ideas. It's because it's time to move on to a different subject and come back to it. It's like if I had homework and I was trying to work on math for 5 hours, it would just feel like I'm forcing it, and it'd just be like, oh my gosh, just dreadful. But if I did math for an hour, science for an hour, reading for an hour, and then I came back to math, I would have basically a better outlook and just be in a better position to actually learn something. So that was one thing I had to realize, that breaks are not terrible. I used to think it was so bad to take a break in the middle of the day, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're taking a break, like, oh my gosh, you have things to do, you should be working, you should be getting this done. As an entrepreneur, the one thing that's so important is being able to manage your time and be disciplined with your time. And sometimes you can easily get into the toxic mindset of, if I am not working on this business every single day, then nothing's going to happen. I'm going to be poor and nothing's going to work out and I'm never going to be successful. When yesterday I even saw Jason's Capital on TikTok. He had posted his daily routine. He wakes up and then he goes on a walk in the morning on the treadmill, and then he does work, and then he does a workout, and then he does work, and then he does this, and then he does yoga, and then he does this. But he has he exercises throughout the day, or he does different things, but it's not like, okay, he wakes up and then he eats and then he works all day. No. Just take your time to go do different things that you still can be doing. I'm not saying take a break and scroll on social media for 3 hours. You can take a break and go do something else. What I do in my breaks now is I just accomplish tasks. I have priorities for the day, and I have tasks for the day. And my tasks are just not as important as the priorities, but they still need to get done when they need to get done. Now, for example, getting dog food. Let's say I need to go buy dog food for Coda. I'm okay, cool. I just finished this one thing. I'm okay. Sorry, I just hit the mic. I'll be like, okay, cool. I just finished I just finished working on part of my priority, or I completely finished it. Now I'm gonna go do one of my tasks just so I can get out of the house, get out of this room, and go do something different, and then come back and I'll work on my next priority. So I do my tasks in between my priorities. Now, that was the first thing my therapist told me. The second thing she said is that an hour before you're going to sleep, an hour, 2 hours. She said 2 hours. I told myself an hour is fine. But she said 2 hours, but I gave myself an hour. She said an hour before you go to bed, you need to put your phone away, journal, read, take time for yourself. Prior to that, I would literally have my phone up until I'm about to lay down. Like I'm replying to messages, I'm looking at content, getting ideas, saving TikToks, doing this, and then I set my phone down and I'm like, okay, and I'm still thinking about the messages I was just looking at on my phone. So I'm still thinking about what's going on my phone. Please ignore the background barking. I live with dogs. Anyways, prior to that, I would have my phone up until I'm about to go to sleep. So I also, the reason this came up is because I was talking about how every time I journal in the morning, if I'm journaling in the morning, I'm not journaling. I really don't journal about my dreams, like in terms of like what I just dreamt that night, because your dreams are pretty much just, sometimes they're pretty random, and I don't always remember my dreams when I wake up. So I'm 9 times out of 10 when I wake up, I'm journaling. Okay, I start my journal off with yesterday this happened, and I was like, it's so weird that I always start my journal off with what happened yesterday. And she's like, well, that's why you need a journal at the end of the day and do your gratitude journal in the morning. So now, for the last hour of the day, I put my phone, I have 2 phones, and one of them actually gets notifications, and it's actually like the active phone that people can reach me on, text me on, that have my social media and things on that. And I leave that phone in this room to charge, chill, do its thing, do nothing. And then I have the phone that I'm actually recording this on, and I bring it with me in the room. It gets no notifications, no one texts me on it. It is strictly for content purposes and just for other business things that I need that I do not want to keep on my main phone. And this phone is the one that I actually bring with me into my room, because it has my audiobook that I listen to while I sleep. I listen to The Magic of Believing while I sleep, and it also has my loud alarm. I get this phone, I put it across the room, I play my audiobook, I read chapter 4 of Think and Grow Rich, which is about auto-suggestion, because I'm rereading that chapter because at the end of the chapter it says literally in all caps, read this chapter every single day out loud until you convince yourself that auto-suggestion works. And I love Think and Grow Rich, and I'm really I have some goals right now that I'm working towards, that some extra auto suggestion just would not hurt. So I decided to really dive back into that aspect of manifestation. But anyways, I've added that to my nighttime routine, and oh my goodness, so I go to sleep. You don't understand how easy it is to go to sleep when I haven't even been interacting with my phone for an hour, and I've just journaled and I've read. My mind is now cooling down. It's like, okay, now we're slowly getting there. We're winding down, and I'm able to shut off my thoughts and really close my eyes and lay down, and I fall asleep so easily. Once again, please ignore the background barking, because I don't even know what he's barking at. Like, I don't see anyone outside. I don't know what the issue could possibly be, but he just likes to start things. Anyways, I've had a lot of people tell me, Trinity, I want to wake up early, but I just can't go to sleep at the time. I just can't go to sleep at that time. Like, I want to wake up early, but I can't go to sleep until I don't go to sleep until 1 a.m. I don't go to sleep until 3 a.m. That's because you're allowing yourself to stay stimulated for hours. If your mind isn't really stimulated by, television and phones for the last hour or 2 hours of you being ready to go to sleep, that is you starting a routine. So now when I grab my journal and when I read that last chapter of Think and Grow Rich, it's already like I'm yawning. Now I'm kind of stretching. Now I'm ready for bed because I prepare myself. I've cut the stimulation off for the last hour. So, because people always ask me, like, how are you waking up? I wake up at 4 a.m. How do you wake up at that time? How do you wake up at that time? It's really not rocket science. I get 6 hours of sleep. I found out that 6 hours of sleep is my personal sweet spot. It makes it so I feel well rested when I wake up without feeling groggy. Every night, everybody's different. If that's not you, that's not you. But I get 6 hours of sleep, so I know I need to be in bed by 10 p.m. So I need to shut everything down by 9. So when people hit me up and they're, oh, can we talk at 9:30? I'm like, oh, I'm not even, as far as I'm asleep. I'm asleep to the world by 9. I'm asleep really at 10, but to the world, And then I wake up at 4, and the same thing in the morning. Don't text me in the morning. Just because I wake up at 4. I remember when someone tried to call me at 4 a.m., someone that knows me, that knew I was up, they tried to call me at 4 a.m. because I had posted I was journaling on my story, and they tried to call me, and I was like, oh, sorry. I'm like, oh, just because I'm up doesn't mean I'm talking to people right now. You have to make your personal time a priority. That goes into what John C. Maxwell says about just creating margin in your life. And my margin is definitely when I'm about to go to sleep and definitely when I'm waking up. Other than that, the middle of the day, I'm with whatever. I'm taking the phone calls. I'm happy to help. I'm going to do whatever I can to assist you the best that I can. But I can't assist anyone the best that I can if I don't make time for myself. So that is just very important. So my nighttime routine and my morning routine mirror each other. In the morning, I wake up, I grab my gratitude journal. It's a very, it's a tiny purple journal. It's smaller than my real journal because my real journal has to capture my whole day. So the pages are just bigger, and I like to put my signature at the bottom. But I have a small gratitude journal. It's hardback, it's super cute, and it just gives me fun vibes because I feel like gratitude is fun. Anyway, so I have that journal. I literally just wake up. It gets so easy. Some people are like, oh my God, what do I write? Like, what are you grateful for? So this morning it was really easy. I filled out the whole page. I said, I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful to be able-bodied. I'm grateful for all 5 of my senses. I'm grateful to have a roof over my head. I'm grateful that I woke up this morning. I'm grateful that I was able to drive yesterday and didn't get in an accident. I'm grateful to have food to nourish my body. I'm grateful to be in a first world country. I'm grateful to have access to the things that we have access to. Like, as you go in day by day, it'll be easier and easier to find things that you're grateful for. It doesn't matter if you repeat them on a day-to-day basis, does not matter. But starting your day with gratitude is so important. Like, before you grab your phone, before you reply to emails, before you reply to texts, because keep in mind, the phone that I actually use to contact people isn't even in the room, so I don't even reach for it. I literally have a chair that I have designated that I associate with journaling and reading. So that chair in my room, as soon as I'm sitting in it, I turn my alarm off, I grab that gratitude journal, and we get to it immediately. It's second nature now. out, and it feels so good to be able to put that on paper, because I'm always trying to get creative with it. I said, okay, well, what else am I grateful for? Well, I'm grateful for this, and the driving thing was new today. Like, I wrote that was the first time I wrote that down today. That's why I said it. I'm grateful that I was able to get in the car yesterday, because I think that car accidents are something that just happens. It's a freak accident, and I always am internally grateful that I get out of the car and get in the car unharmed, because so many people lose their life on the road, and I know it's actually dangerous. So that's something I was just grateful for. I'm grateful that I have the ability to read. I think I'm gonna use that one tomorrow. Just so many things that you can be grateful for, and just makes you, just as you smile and write it, it just makes you just realize that life is good. Sometimes you just gotta remind yourself that life is good, okay? And even if it doesn't feel like it's good right now, there is something that you can pinpoint that is good. Maybe not the whole thing, but you can pinpoint something in your life that's going well for you, and to just give gratitude for that thing is gonna just, gratitude is a seed for more. So starting your morning off like that, your subconscious is so active when you're first waking up and when you're about to go to sleep for the first 25 minutes and the last 25 minutes of the day. So literally first 25 minutes of the day you're expressing gratitude. It's just gonna be, it's just going to be next level for you and your lifestyle. So gratitude journal. So I do my reading at night now. So then because I have my gratitude journal, affirmations, and then at that time, honestly, we get into the gym at 5 a.m. So getting up and working out, getting those endorphins going, oh my gosh, getting endorphins running through your bloods in the morning is literally going to set you up to be in the best mood throughout the day. I love working out in the morning. I literally finish my workout, I feel so productive. I'm like, oh my gosh, I've drank so much water. My goal is usually to finish half a gallon in the morning. So I drink my water. I just killed leg day. I did a mile. I'm walking my dog, and now we're in the flow. And I feel like now I've had my personal time. I prioritize me and Coda in the morning. So after I go and work out, me and Coda work out. So I take Coda on a walk. Me and Coda have been training a lot. It's increased our bond so much because I had to make time for him. What I really did in my life is I went and I audited my priorities. And I said, what should I be prioritizing? My health, my physical health, my mental health, my family, my dog. Because my dog is my son. So for me to just act like he's not there just makes no sense. So being able to do all these things in the morning, it's easier for me when it comes to like the day to like, okay, really like, I have my first meeting at 10:30 a.m. So usually 10 usually 10 or 10:30 I'll have my first meeting of the day, because I get home, I do what I do with Coda. Let's say I go to the gym at 5, I come back at 7. I'm just giving y'all my day-to-day rundown at this point. And then I walk and I run, and maybe that takes to like 8:30 or so. And then I gotta come home, get dressed, eat breakfast. That's gonna go into like 9. Basically all of 9 is me prepping for my day. And then 10:30, I'm ready. Now I'm ready. I'll answer your questions all day. I'll sit on the phone with you as long as you like. I'll give you all of my energy and time. Not all of it, but adequate energy and time to make you feel comfortable, to help you any way you can, because I've already helped myself. I can pour into others when I've poured into myself effectively, and that's just so important. And all of this has been, it's trial and error. It's been a process for me to get to this point. I remember when I just dropped out of college, and I was just reading the 5 a.m. club, and I was like, okay, 5 a.m. is amazing. I was waking up at 5 a.m. doing all these things, and I felt so good. I felt so productive. And then I slowly got addicted to waking up early, and I did 4 a.m. and 4 a.m. was amazing. And I did 3 a.m. and I was like, okay, 3 a.m. literally leaves me no time at night, so I need to do 4, but 4 is cool. I can do 4, I can manage 4, I can feel comfortable with 4. So it was trial and error. You have to figure out what works for you, but I feel like a morning routine and a nighttime routine are so essential in terms of the staple of getting yourself started on the right track of becoming productive, becoming effective in your everyday lifestyle, and feeling successful. Because I feel so successful after my morning. I'm like, I had a successful morning, I want to have a successful evening and afternoon. So now I'm making sure that I'm firing on all cylinders for the rest of my day, because it already started off so strong, and then the middle of the day was so strong. I'm actually going to finish it off strong too. And then another thing I also do at night is I plan my next day. A lot of people don't realize all you gotta do is, it only takes about 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, like at this point, I feel like he's just barking because he knows he's disrupting me. Can't even tell you, really don't know what it is. And I don't feel like getting up there and checking right now because I'm obviously in the middle. But anyways, we push on. So what was I just saying? He just threw me off. What was I just saying? What was I just saying? We said nighttime routine, midday routine, success. Was I saying successful? Was I saying successful? I can't believe he just threw me off like that. Well, it's gone. I don't know what I was just saying. And when I re-listen to this, it's gonna come, I'm gonna be, oh wow, and then it's just already gonna be too late. So I'm just gonna go with, other than that though, there it is. Okay, boom, got it. I plan my next day at night. It only takes 10 to 15 minutes for you to decide what's going to be important to you tomorrow, but it's really important to do that, so that way when you go to sleep, you're already thinking about what you can do to make tomorrow productive. And when I go to sleep thinking about tomorrow, I really wake up feeling like I got places to be, I got things to do, I got people to see, and I'm moving with a sense of urgency because I know I have certain things I need to get done for the day. So all you gotta do is really just focus on figuring out what are 3 priorities for tomorrow. 3 things, like, oh my gosh, 3. I'm gonna have to wrap this up and then go figure out what's going on because I don't know what he could possibly be working at. But 3 things that you know, like, okay, if I don't get anything else done today, this has to get done. 3 things. If I don't get anything else done today, this has to get done. One of my priorities today was recording this podcast episode and this YouTube video. So I said, if I don't do anything else today, this needs to get done. That's a priority because that is in alignment with the goal that I have for this next 90 days. I set my priorities daily based on what goals I have for the next 90 days and how I need to reach them. Set a goal, 5. I choose 5. I feel like it's good. Set 5 goals in your personal life, business life, relationship, whatever you want to do that are, measurable, attainable, realistic, nothing too crazy, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think it's not too realistic though. Like, don't sell yourself short. But once you set 5 goals, then every day, whenever you're thinking, okay, so what should I prioritize tomorrow? 3 things. Okay, what can I do tomorrow to get closer to this goal? Well, I know that, like, what is the steps that need to happen to make that happen in the next 90 days? Okay, well, I know I need to do this, so I'm gonna do that tomorrow. So it's really about reverse engineering the big goals that you have in your life, so it really seems like bite-sized pieces that you can manage on a day-to-day basis and taking small steps every single day. And if you're just making the steps to get closer to the goals that you have set for yourself, then you are successful. So I hope you got something from listening to this podcast or watching this YouTube video. I really do appreciate anybody that's plugging in to Conversations Are My Thing. This is Trini Jackson, the world's very first trillionaire. I am growing, I am working, and I am developing consistency. So I apologize for not being here the last few days, but please forgive me because, it's a process. I'm not perfect, but we're working on it. And I actually do love making these. I feel like I've been learning a lot about myself and how I work best, and I feel like maybe the information now I'm learning could help somebody else. So that's why we're here. Thank y'all for listening. Stay tuned for the next episode to come out, and make sure you subscribe to the podcast. Mwah. Bye.